Welcome back to Quick Chat with Jay. Hope you're doing well. I didn't think that we'd be back here with a IMVU and Catfish crossover, but here we are again with a story where things just seem slightly off. LeeAndre has reached out to Nev and Kamie because 4 years ago he met a woman named Russia off of IMVU.
She is 26 and lives in Tennessee. At the time, she was running an IMVU salon. She hired me, and I started cutting hair at her shop. Highlight of every day became talking to her while I was on shift at the salon.
Like I said in the last IMVU video, I am surprised that this website is still around and that it has over 7 million monthly users. Literally, it's leaving me speechless. Also, what is the point of having a virtual salon? I thought that you just change your hairstyle through the settings. Maybe things have changed since I've been on there. I don't know. After a while of speaking on IMVU, Russia decided to give her number to LeeAndre and they would talk through text and call. They even became a couple on the website and in real life. Everything was going well. They even said that they loved each other, but things started getting a little strange when Russia ghosted LeeAndre.
We said, I love you, and made plans to see each other. Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Surprise, surprise.
We never ended up meeting because she ghosted me. She came back into my life in 2022, and she claimed she had things going on with some of her family members passing away. I certainly understood the trauma of losing someone. We picked things up again stronger than ever. We even talked about our future and decided to get married on IMVU. And eventually in real life too. But then, a few months ago, she did it again. She ghosted me without warning. I was really out of sorts after that one. I still am. That's why I'm writing to you now.
As you can see, their relationship has been going through it, which resulted in LeeAndre reaching out to Nev and Kamie. When they call LeeAndre, he says that he is so grateful that they are willing to help him, and he's currently in Florida at the moment celebrating his son's birthday, so that is where the Catfish crew goes to start this investigation. They show up to Florida, they meet LeeAndre and his family, including his son, who is just so adorably sweet with Nev and Kamie.
This is my sister.
Hi, I'm Kamie.
The birthday boy, my son.
Happy birthday!
Hey! What's your name, bud?
Keyshawn.
And my mom.
Hi.
LeeAndre.
Happy birthday, Keyshawn.
You did?
What were we doing?
You guys were talking.
That's basically all we do.
That's the only thing we do.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
See
a good
you later.
picture.
See you later.
Oh. He's so sweet.
All right, buddy.
See you later, buddy.
See y'all later for my favorite TV show.
Oh, thank you.
Trying to get an understanding of his backstory, and even Kamie asks about his past relationship that he's had, which was with his son's mother, who unfortunately is deceased.
That's not your last relationship, is it?
Yeah.
Were you married?
No.
Okay, but you and Keyshawn's mom were together, had him, and then split up. Are you guys cool?
Well, she's deceased.
Oh, jeez.
I'm so sorry.
What happened?
She got into an accident, and yeah, we just got the call, and it was crazy. I was actually feeding him in his high chair.
Man, that's awful.
That's kind of part of the reason why Russia means a lot to me, because she was there during that tragic, situation.
Are we in a dream?
Me playing IMVU was like an escape for me. Like, it was like an outlet. I started meeting people in there, like friends, like, it was like a chat room.
Am I gonna wake up just to need another?
It just gave me hope to keep going,
Yeah.
Meeting Russia was like, it was it for me. It was like the pinnacle.
So learning about this piece of information about LeeAndre's life, it helps you to understand why he loves and wants to be with Russia so much, because she was there for him during his most vulnerable time in his life. But this becomes a little confusing once we start to learn a little more about the couple. He says that Russia told him that she is a musical artist and a model, which just sounds like the typical jobs that Catfish usually say they have. Honestly, they need to get a little bit more creative because these are easily verifiable things you can find. I don't know. You need to say like you're a welder. Oh, yeah. I can't easily find that out. Also, when LeeAndre asks Russia for any kind of social media such as Instagram, she makes an excuse saying that since we talk on the phone, you don't really need it, which, okay, but that sounds a little bit suspicious. It sounds like you're hiding something. The same thing when it comes to getting on a FaceTime call. She makes the excuse that she doesn't want anyone getting in her business, which you're not really making it easier. that just seems suspect as well. I mean, what is the problem? Russia has said hello to his sister, and she's even spoken to his mom and has gone as far to call his mom her mom when they have conversed. So I really don't understand the issue. If you're willing to be on a phone call, it should be nothing to be on a video call. It seems like you're hiding something. As I mentioned a bit ago, Russia had been there for LeeAndre during the time when his son's mother passed away, giving him a shoulder to lean on during that time. So it is very confusing when Russia gives her reason for why she ghosted LeeAndre for 2 years.
So how long had you been talking before she first disappeared?
A year.
Wow, okay. And then she came back?
Yeah, I get messages apologizing and saying why she ghosted me and stuff like that.
What did she say?
She said she had a lot of deaths in her family.
That's just strange. She was there for you through so much. You would think that she would feel comfortable enough to say something about what she's going through. How did it end up after that? Like, did you feel like you guys grew closer?
Yeah, much more closer. It felt like we both matured. So that's kind of why I overlooked it the first time.
Yeah.
It was really strong. Like, we talked about having kids, and we talked about marriage. The I love yous were coming in hard.
I just don't understand not giving LeeAndre the chance to comfort you during a time when you needed that, when you did that for him. It just seems like that it feels unbalanced, because why don't you trust him to console you in the way that you've done it for him? Also, the fact that she ghosted him again 6 months later after they reconnected is also a little weird.
Can we read some of these messages?
Yes.
Oh, this is when she popped back up.
Oh,
The
wow,
first
okay.
time.
She said, I know you probably hate me, but I miss ya.
This was after 2 years.
Please understand, I had and still have a lot on my plate, and I'm sorry for how I handled things between us, and I miss you. And if you could ever forgive me, ever, I would love to continue things as well. Just didn't know how you would feel about that with me.
Then to text him out of nowhere, you can see why he reached out to the Catfish crew.
Seeing now kind of their relationship, I'm immediately convinced that like she's definitely catfish.
Like, the ghosting is weird, deaths in the family, and not to say that it's not possible, but that's a very Catfish thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of red flags.
But it's so meaningful to him. Like, I want it to work out for him, but it's not looking good.
As Nev and Kamie sit down to investigate, they go to Rush's IMVU account to see if they can find anything. Unfortunately, they don't, but they do go ahead and do an image search, and they do get some results.
Let's try searching the pictures he sent. Let's just see if we get a hit on this. No, not her. Picture number 2. Was that her? That is her. What's this? Oh, look, Russia Smith. She has a music page. This is incredible.
Nashville, Tennessee. She does music.
Ah, that's right.
She told him that she did music.
Okay, so that's promising.
Now, that's the first bit of information that is leading them in the right direction, as they also look up the phone number, and it brings them a step closer to seeing who is behind this Russia profile.
All right, I guess let's run her number.
615. Nashville.
DeAndrea, 25. I think we all kind of assumed her name wasn't Russia Smith. Guess it could be DeAndrea. All right, let's run the number on Been Verified. What do we got? DeAndre, 26, lives in Nashville.
Alias is DeAndre.
Different last name, though. Could just be a mistake.
Russia Smith.
What?
Gmail.
What if we put this phone number into Cash App? Is it?
DeAndre Dirt Bike.
Weird. So now it's DeAndre. I mean, obviously, there's always a chance it could be a guy.
He's talked on the phone with her.
I mean, it's not impossible. Just because he talked to her on the phone doesn't mean it's not a guy with the ability to sound like a woman.
I mean, it's not like they haven't encountered a kind of situation before.
Can we hear the voice right now?
I mean, I don't know what's going on. You know, a lot of things been changing in my life.
Wow.
And now this does throw this guy named LeeAndre into the mix, who clearly has some kind of connection to Russia.
Maybe we'll find something.
Dirt bike, DeAndre.
Oh.
Dirt bike.
Oh my God, you're right. There it is. Wild. Who is this? This guy's name on here is Dirt Bike DeAndre in Nashville. Wait, okay, hold on a second. Is this who he's talking to?
With all this information, they head over to LeeAndre to let him know what they have found, especially about the DeAndre part, who he says he's never heard of. The next step is to contact Russia, and that was going well until she caught an attitude out of nowhere.
All right, well, I don't know if she's gonna respond to me, but...
She read it. Oh my goodness. Wasn't expecting it.
Oh, she wrote back. She said, I know he's not going to be happy when we meet. I'll do it if that's what he wants. Just not here, please. Happy to fly you down to Orlando if that's better. In order to buy you a ticket, we will need your real name. Isn't it your job to find out these things? Wow. Yes, DeAndrea. It is.
She said, LOL, I'll book my own flight. You know what? It's the attitude for me.
We will see you tomorrow.
Same, Kamie, because who the fuck are you talking to? Like, she really isn't in a position to be acting like that. So let's take that 50 down to a 5, okay? The next day, Nev and Kamie haven't heard anything back from Russia, but LeeAndre has. But it's confusing because she's mentioned the word we.
How you guys feeling?
Well, we feel good, but not really sure what's going on. Have you heard anything from Russia?
Yeah, so she contacted me last night about her catching a flight.
Okay.
She said, I don't know who we is, but she said, we looked up flights. My flight lands at 11:40 a.m. Where are you staying?
Okay.
At first, I gave her the address to where we were staying at, you know, me and my family. But I think I'm more comfortable, like, in a public setting.
Right.
I really had to just dial myself back for a second. Somebody texts you, we looked up flights, and your immediate reaction is to send them your address? Where you and your child and your mother and your sister sleep? We? Oh boy. Let's go.
I mean, I know her name is Russia, but I didn't know she could speak French because who are we? Also, why would you send the address of the house you're staying at? You don't know if this is the real person. You don't know if this is the fake person. You don't know if this person is crazy and now intends to harm you because you're basically calling them out. We weren't using our brains with this one. I don't care how much you trust Russia. At this moment, you still don't know who it is. So why would you do that? But you know what? This is just a precursor to something else I'm going to get upset at him about. LeeAndre did give Russia a location of a park that's nearby the home, but she says that the Uber cannot find it, so she's just going to go to the original address that he gave. So now they got to rush over to the house to make sure they beat her before she gets there. Luckily, they show up before Russia does. And wouldn't you know, it is the woman from the photos.
Oh.
Is it stopping?
Yes, stop. That's gotta be her. Hi, hello.
God.
Oh my gosh.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Are you for real?
What should we call you?
Russia.
Russia.
Yeah.
In your text you said we.
Well, I have my manager with me.
Oh, okay.
Hi.
Hi.
This is Kamie.
I'm Kamie.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
You're
to meet
gorgeous.
you. Sorry, I'm in shock.
To everyone's surprise, it's the real person, but this leaves more questions than answers. Why no FaceTime calls? Why has it taken this long for you two to meet up if you both took the relationship seriously. Russia confirms that everything she has told LeeAndre is true and even clears up the DeAndre mystery.
I'm just really confused. What's up with you guys? You were talking a lot, then you weren't talking for years, and you were talking again, then you haven't been talking, then you pop back up. Like, what the heck's going on?
Well, at that time when I ghosted him, I went through deaths in my family, and it put me in depression mode. So that kind of sets me back and makes me like just reevaluate my everything, who I'm talking to, who I'm dealing with. Not that it was a problem talking to him. I just was really overwhelmed.
Are you aware that the phone number that you are using now links to a Cash App for someone named Dirtbike?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Whose name is also DeAndre?
Oh, yes, that's my cousin.
Oh.
So I know that person,
okay.
but I'm not aware of what you just told me about the Cash App. I'm not aware of that at all.
When it comes to defining a relationship, whether her feelings have been real the entire time and if she still has those feelings and still is in love with LeeAndre, she gives an answer that is pretty shocking to everyone.
But are you open about our relationship? Because like my mom knew about you, my sister knew about you.
Yeah, of course.
Even my son knew about you.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were in a relationship
Yeah,
with
most
LeeAndre?
definitely. Most
Do you
definitely.
currently feel like you're in a relationship with
No.
him? When was the last time you felt like you guys were boyfriend and girlfriend?
A couple months ago, before the conversation about me wanting to be a Titans cheerleader.
What is that? Because we didn't hear about that.
Me and LeeAndre had a conversation about me being a cheerleader. He didn't really agree with that.
I don't know if this is going to sound mean. I try to extend grace. It's a good thing to practice. But I kind of lost respect for LeeAndre at this moment in this episode just because he had some feelings about her wanting to be a cheerleader.
Yeah, we did have that.
Yeah.
You don't want her to be a cheerleader?
It's complicated.
I mean, if she said she was going to be a stripper,
Right,
I
that'd be
could see
totally
you maybe
different.
not being down with that.
Unless you think
mean,
they're the
but-
same thing, which they're not.
I don't know, it was just like, I just didn't feel like that aligned with like what we both talked about. Like far as plans, like living together, you know, starting maybe a possible family, maybe. I just didn't want to be with somebody that was
Right. That's
cheerleader.
That's
like,
what
that was
broke
just-
my heart
that
about
was-
it.
I don't know, like I felt like that would take away from like our relationship. Like
Her having a job?
Or
no,
too much
no,
attention.
No, a job is fine, but like
The attention of it.
it is a lot of male attention, like because she's not, you know, not attractive. Like,
Right, but if she's a music artist, she would still be getting attention.
I can understand a couple having discussions about things that affect their relationship because there are things that are going to be compromised on and sacrificed. But to me, this seems like he wanted to control an aspect of her life, which rubbed me the wrong way. I just don't understand anyone who tries to dictate what their partner does with their life, or when they shoot down an idea that their partner was clearly excited about, because they know for a fact that if that were to happen to them, they would lose their fucking mind. Like, you would never hear the end of it. I'm just saying, you know how these people are. Oh, I can't believe you don't support my dreams and aspirations, but they're the person that likes to shoot down anything that the other person likes to do. Be serious for a second.
it's different.
Cheerleading just wasn't, I guess that wasn't what he wanted in the books for me. So I didn't like the response. I acted accordingly.
It seems like Russia was just trying out the idea in her head, trying to maybe get his opinion on it and seeing if she would have his support. But for him to treat it like it's something that's going to harm the relationship is so strange to me. Oh, she's going to have too much attention. I'm sorry. Pretty people get attention. I don't know what to tell you. That just sounds really insecure and like a you problem that you need to figure out on your own. I see why Russia moved accordingly. Also, LeeAndre failed to mention the real reason why things feel weird between them, and it's because he basically broke up with her.
You and he just don't seem like a match to me.
We tried. Didn't work. It's not gonna work. That's fine. I
Right.
still love you as a friend, respect you, but it's not gonna work.
When did you figure that out?
Actually, after the cheerleading comment,
What was the comment?
the comment was, I don't want to be with you if you're gonna be a cheerleader. So I moved accordingly.
Yeah.
Simple.
I respect that.
You know?
Now, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't that sound like an ultimatum that resulted in a breakup? Russia does admit that there was a moment in all of this where there just wasn't any kind of clear communication or expectations set for where their relationship was, and that could have left LeeAndre in the dark.
6 or so months ago, where you had expressed interest in pursuing cheerleading.
Yes.
You said that wasn't necessarily a job that you would love.
I just thought she could do better.
And that's one part of this. But after that, you kind of felt like, oh, well, if he doesn't support my interest or my curiosities, I'm like, maybe this isn't a good fit. Is it fair, though, to say that, like, you may not have clearly communicated that to him?
We both just stopped communicating. What's the problem?
Well, as a dude, I can sort of understand. Because there was no very specific, clear, hey, we're not dating anymore, he might have misunderstood what was going on.
I understand what Nev is saying, but sometimes you can be clear as glass with men, and we still won't understand what you're saying. I don't know what's wrong with us.
I get your disappointment, and I get all of that, and I apologize if I caused you any pain or harm.
There were definitely some opportunities where communication
Right.
could have taken place.
Right.
That would have made things very clear on both sides, because yes, of course, we can all say, like, we're all adults. Like, if you say something to me that I don't like, you should know.
Yeah,
But you can't just assume.
you're right. That could have been communicated way better. It could have.
But also, I feel like people should be aware of the things that they say and how it could come across. No matter our intentions behind the things that we say to each other, they can be interpreted differently, which I guess just falls back on the communication aspect of all of this. But also, I don't see how Russia could have interpreted what he said any differently. Those sounded like breaking up words to me, at least. Honestly, I think what hurt her the most was seeing how he couldn't support something that she was considering. In my mind, that leads me to think, okay, how many other things will you just shoot down? How often will this happen? I feel like I'm thinking way too deeply into this, but it does raise a question of how will the rest of this relationship look like? You tell me your hopes and dreams, will I have to just blindly follow them without questioning and be your cheerleader? Will I have to minimize myself just to build you up and make you feel better about yourself? Will I internalize the negative feedback and not allow myself to actually go for anything that will make me happy out of fear that you might leave me? With me saying that, I'm not trying to project a negative character onto LeeAndre. For the most part, I think he has good intentions. It's just I don't understand how you cannot at least support your partner with things that they want to do. As long as they're not harming themselves or other people, I feel like you should let them figure it out and see if it's something that'll make them happy. Wrapping this up, LeeAndre and Russia didn't continue their relationship in any kind of capacity. After shooting this episode, that was the end of their romantic relationship and their friendship. LeeAndre said something along the lines of, if a person doesn't make time for you, that's how you know how the relationship is going to go.
Do you miss your relationship with Russia at all?
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're going to still think about them from time to time, but I think I learned some things.
Like what?
Well, if somebody doesn't want to make time for you, then they probably don't want to deal with you.
Yeah, well, that's good. Good lesson. All right, LeeAndre. Well, nice to see you, and take care, bud.
All right, thanks, Nev.
All right,
You
later.
too.
I have no idea what he means exactly by that. I'm assuming he means like when she used to ghost him, which, yeah, like that is a good indicator of how the relationship will go. But upon actually meeting her, I don't feel like she just doesn't care about him. Either way, both of them say that they are doing well and they're just living life and they're trying to achieve the goals and dreams that they have set for themselves. And I wish them the best with that, because I mean, that's all that we all are trying to do in this life that we have. Now that the main story is out of the way, I do have some thoughts about this episode, because I feel like this was kind of a waste of the Catfish crew's time. Okay, hear me out, because leading up to trying to figure out if Russia was the real woman in the photos or not, that made a lot of sense. But once we get to the reveal of why the relationship isn't as how it used to be, it felt anticlimactic. And it left a lot more to be desired. Don't get me wrong, I am glad that they were able to figure out the confusion that was going on in the relationship, but you did not have to come on the show to do that. As I said, I think he broke up with her without even realizing that he did it. And I'm about to contradict myself here a little, but Russia should have done a way better job of letting him know that they were no longer a couple. Make it sound like the conversation they had about the cheerleading thing was short and succinct, but what all was really said? Because I can't imagine that someone realizing that you're not going to support me is a thing to break up over, but what all was really said? And because LeeAndre knowingly withheld the information from Nev and Kamie, I feel like he knows it's his fault, but just didn't want to admit it. I mean, I knew it was over when they asked if they'll still be friends, and he was just like, I don't really know.
Now, with how both of you are feeling towards each other.
I got the conclusion, clarity, and the closure that I needed, so.
Dude, I'm not saying I don't like you, I don't want to be your friend, I never want to talk to you again. That's not why I came here. I just came here so you could get an understanding.
And you're cool being friends?
I'm absolutely fine with that. I have no problem with that.
Are you cool being friends?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of like a lot of history, like, to be friends. I think, like, we got to see where it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If and when one of you reaches out, you'll see what happens.
Right.
Like, you're acting like this because you unknowingly broke up with her and then act surprised when she no longer wanted to talk to you like that. I feel like I'm about to start repeating myself and I don't want to do that, but Russia should have made it clear that that comment bothered her that much. Like the next day, y'all are both adults. You could have just said, hey, the comment you made last night, I thought about it. It made me reevaluate our relationship, and I don't think this is going to work out. I mean, it's that simple, really. Maybe it would have worked out if that was said sooner than later. Maybe it wouldn't. I mean, I feel like either way, we would have still gotten the same results that we saw in the show. But if it were discussed, all of this could have been avoided. I guess the main lesson to learn from this is better communicate with people, or you'll end up airing your business out on television. That is all I have for you today. Thank you for sharing some time with me. I appreciate and enjoyed it. Until next time, be well and take care of yourselves. Bye.